Since they announced their engagement back in 2017, as the interview comes on the heels of their announcement, they're expecting their second child. Now, as we know, these two are very protected and very private.
Okay, we are live.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our special meeting of February the 16th. I want to welcome all the public that's online watching the meeting. Welcome, and I hope that you find it very informative. Welcome, council. Does any member of council have any pecuniary or financial interest to declare? So noted, Ted. You can do so at the time, okay? All right. You've had an opportunity to see the minutes of our special meeting, January the 19th. Is there any errors or omissions to those minutes? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion. Moved by Debbie, seconded by Carl. Any errors or omissions? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. In front of you, Sue has mentioned all the meetings that are ahead of us. Any questions on that? Okay, now we were to have a delegation. Sue, do we have anyone on the line?
Yes, I think Lorraine is on.
Okay, good evening, Lorraine. Are you on the line?
I am.
Okay, hi, how are you today?
Oh, there she is.
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Okay, I'll pass it over to you to address council. You've got about 10 minutes, Lorraine, and then we'll open it up for questions, okay?
Okay, I understood when I spoke to, I'm not sure who I spoke to, I think to Stanley, that this was not, that this was in chambers, like not live, like to the public. So
No,
which is it?
It's open to the public.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. Okay, so I'm wanting to talk to the council regarding the invoice and the amount of the invoice for the issue with the burning at the farm.
Okay.
And so I wanted to know when you deal with complaints, why there was no phone call on the first complaint.
Okay, I believe that they didn't know where it was. Bob maybe could answer that, the fire chief. We'll answer your questions as you go, Lorraine, okay? So Bob, can you address that question?
Well, normally when I check out a complaint, it's somebody out in the field burning or whatever. I go to that location and I'll talk with the person there, give them a copy of the bylaw, explain what they're doing wrong, and then ask them to put their fire out. And I make my own report here so that they've had their warning. And generally 90% plus, that's what works. In this particular case, there was nobody there. There hadn't been anybody there for a while. I was told that it was Arthur's property, Arthur Bukowski, but nobody was absolutely sure. Anyway, I had to go into even the municipal office to check the ownership of the property. Then I had to find out where they lived. And then I went and talked with them at that particular point. Couldn't do it to the front end.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess I have a little bit of an issue with that. Albert's owned the property for over 40 years. When the first complaint came in, your first comment was hadn't been there in a while. He was there on the 15th. He couldn't go on the 16th because he was at the Heart Institute having surgery. He didn't go on the 17th, which was the day of the first complaint, but he was there on the 18th. You did not come to see him until the following Monday. The second complaint came in on the 19th. Again, a complaint, and again, no phone call, again, no contact. And you're indicating that at that point, you already knew that Albert owned the property. I mean, we've been paying taxes and everything. I think that you would have known who owns the property.
Well,
but that's beside the point. That's
yes,
beside
that
the point.
Beside
so
the
you've
point.
had two complaints. Yes, two complaints, no contact until 2 days after.
Lorraine, you left the fire. You left the fire.
There,
that's against the law. Okay. So that's the issue. It's not about the dates and it's not about who did what. You cannot leave a fire until it is completely out. So that's
Okay, so
the
fire, there was no fire. There was no fire. There was a little bit of smoke. There was no fire. The fire had been out for over a week. There was a little bit of smoldering smoke. There was no fire. So that's what I'm asking.
I believe, and Bob can correct me, but you can't leave it when it's smoldering. I mean, the people were choking on the smoke. That's why the complaints came in. It wasn't us that went there, but you have to leave it, I believe, and Bob, you can tell me, you can't leave it smoldering because it can catch again. If I've ever seen things happen, it catches again. And so that's why it has to be left completely cold. That's my understanding. Ted or Bob, you can correct me on that.
Well, that is correct. We were looking at, under our own bylaw, 2018 number 40, there were 3 items that we were looking at charging on here. Burning materials not permitted. Okay. Burning without adequate extinguishment devices and or failure to supervise burning. The third one we were looking at, which is the one that seemed to irritate the neighbors, open air burning so as to cause a fire hazard or other adverse effects to properties and individuals affected by the products of combustion. Now, each one of these is a $250 fine, $50, what do they call that, victim surcharge, plus a $5 court cost. So it's at $305. We didn't pursue those. Okay. I guess one of the big things that irked me here was the complaint I got on the Saturday, which is when we called the crews in. I got this this text message. Any chance you can go out and put out the 2 piles of shingles that have been smoldering for 2 weeks on Deer Trail Road, Albert Pekoski's property? He's been asked kindly not to burn them by the locals. Smell is awful, even at my house. That was on Bear Trail. And that's why I went back on the Saturday. And then we started looking at the piles and okay.
Go ahead, Bob. Bob,
Go
ahead.
Well, that's repeating.
Okay. Thank you. Lorraine, did you want to respond?
No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, this is all, I can see this as a waste of my time. No one's ever mentioned anything about burning to us, no, by text, by phone, by email, by nothing, until we heard from Bob on the Monday. So bottom line, my question is, there's a bill here for $5,445.87. Is the council in any way willing to work with the landowner on this particular bill for no fire, smoldering smoke that's bothering the neighbors? So that's my question. That's where we are.
Okay. So we did bring this issue up, and council was informed that we had billed, and they've all agreed to that bill. So does anybody want to? Okay, but just wait. Now you've asked me to ask them to reconsider, so I will do that.
Yeah.
So does anybody want to reconsider that bill? If you do, pick up your hand.
I have a question.
Oh, okay, Ted.
So did we or did we not contact the Pekoskis before the fire department arrived there or not?
No. The fire department arrived there on Saturday morning. The Pekoskis were contacted on Monday. During the day, Bob made a drive out and spoke to Albert in person on the Monday.
Bob?
That's correct.
Okay.
The original complaint came in on the Thursday. I took a complainant with me up and down the road. He wasn't sure where the particular location was, so I was told. We went up and down. I could see no flames. I could smell nothing. I did nothing on the Thursday and said, I don't see anything here, and thank you very much. Well, let me know if this occurs again. And that was the end of that on the Thursday. Did nothing till I got that notification or that question of the text on the Saturday.
And then you went to see him on Monday.
And I did go to see him on Monday personally.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, does anybody want to change their vote? Pick your hands up. Lorraine, I'm sorry, I don't see any hands up.
Okay, thank you very much for your
Thank
time.
you very much. Have a nice evening.
You too.
Thank you. Okay. So council, we're gonna move on then to the community development. Oh, you've got Chris up first, okay? So Chris, can you give us your report, please? Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'll just get Sue to share my screen there.
Okay.
Okay.
Last Sunday's episode of Homes That We Affect introduced a center for racialized environment called Solid State.
Okay, can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So first off, COVID-19, I did send out a document for council to review, but just so everyone's aware, we are currently back in the green zone with very little changes that are relevant to the municipality. Outdoor rinks. So the outdoor rinks and warming areas are open with the following restrictions: limited 16 seating inside. Lockers are to be used where possible to store items. Games are to be modified to maintain physical distance where possible. No face-offs, no crashing the nets or corners, no prolonged contact. Keep it a stick's length where possible and no spitting. Masks are required at all times while indoors. They are allowed to move it to hydrate or eat, but then they have to put it back on. And sign-in is required for contact tracing, and the ice surface capacity is 35. The photos from our promotional shoot with the Ottawa Valley Tourism Association are ready. I'm not sure if anyone checked them out, but there are some good ones there. There's just 2 of them right there. Rural economic and development and programming. So a group of rural parks and recreation community development staff from the municipalities of Madawaska Valley, Kittilä, Hagerty Richards, Bonnechere Valley, North Algonquin, Wilberforce, South Algonquin, BLR, and Whitewater have been formed to try and share programming costs, economic development initiatives, as well as to share ideas for COVID programming. We met on the 11th and had several great ideas that we are working on to see if they are feasible. And I will keep council updated on the progress of this new work group. Canada Healthy Communities Initiative. So the Canada Healthy Communities Initiative is a grant aimed at creating healthy and safe spaces for communities. Funding is $5,000 to $250,000 at 100% coverage. The grant launched on February 9th and the deadline is March 9th. I would like council's permission. Now there's 2 parts to this. So we're looking to partner with the Friends of the Library. So I'll just talk about our parts and then I'll move into theirs after. So I'd like council's permission to apply for funding for Hoke Farm to clear the land that is out there in front, add topsoil, fix the parking, fix the driveway, seed the grass, benches, tables, and other landscaping. That will set the foundation for our vision of creating a community space that everyone can enjoy. If you look at old photos and stuff of the farm, the garden actually went out well past the house, and the land there for the most part up until Queen Street is useful. And so my vision for that would be able to turn that into a park, an area that people can use. And this grant will get us set up to start that project by creating basically the foundation to create these spaces. And it goes along perfectly with what the grant's trying to do. It's trying to create healthy and safe spaces for people to gather. And with the Hoke Farm, there's a lot of land there that we could use for multiple purposes. Everything from the schools could use it for outdoor play areas to our local community groups. I believe it would be well used. And like I said, it's a great foot to stand on for future endeavors.
So Chris, could you just mention the Kathy Lyons? Oh, there it is. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no worries. Okay, so that's,
I jumped ahead.
It's okay. So the next part about this is Kathy Lyons reached out to me from the Friends of the Library, and they were talking about looking to make a reading art trail in Killaloe. So I actually went out and hiked, cross-country skied through the bush to try to figure it out. It's a bit hard to figure out where the water is and where the land is, so I'll have to wait till spring to figure out an exact trail, but there is possibility there. There were maps before that show there were trails and stuff in there. So I've met with them today to basically nail down kind of what they were thinking. This grant, the Healthy Communities Initiative, fits in perfectly with this. And so I'll read out what Kathy has written up here for the project, and then I'll talk a little bit more about that. So with the success of the Killaloe Kids Book Fest and the recent expansion of our library, the next step in a pandemic times and beyond is to take reading outside and combine it with activities surrounded by nature. Research tells us that early literacy skills develop in real life settings through positive interactions with literacy materials and other people. The Killaloe Reading Trail will be a fun recreational activity both for local communities and families as well as for visitors. Simply put, it is approximately a 0.6 kilometer trail with a local nature environment. Along the trail is a children's story set out 2-page panels, each station approximately 100 feet apart. A total of 18 reading stations are installed on poles. Each station is essentially a sealed wooden pine box, 24 by 24 by 6 inches deep. The fronts of each station are keyed glass doors, fully weatherproof and topped by galvanized steel mini roof. Book pages are inserted in each section along with banners suggesting outdoor activities, art projects, and more reasons to visit our library. Through partnerships already established with the Canadian children's book publishers as a result of the Killaloe Books Fest, we will be providing with approximately sized individual book pages of the very best quality. Stories can be switched out on a clinical basis to ensure that the trail stays new and fresh. So in here, they've gone about into the costings, but we don't have to get into that. So the whole vision of this would be, and I personally am extremely excited about this project. If you've ever been to the Killaloe Craft Fair, they kind of have something like this where there's art and stuff in the forest, but it would just be a huge tourist draw to draw people in if we had this reading trail, and it's educational. The schools are on board. I personally think it's a great initiative, and it pairs perfectly with what my proposal is for Hope Farm. Really trying to, in these COVID times, create spaces that people can just go and, do their own thing, whether it's play sports or run around with a dog or hike or check out the reading trail. And so I would like to partner with them and put in a proposal for a grant for both the landscaping and the fixing up of Hope Farm, as well as this reading trail. Creating this partnership, it gives us a lot more ground to stand on, not only in the applying for the grant, but also for developing future relationships for the development of Hope Farm. So I'm personally really excited about this initiative. I think it's a really great idea. And I think I hope Farm would bring a lot of people into Killaloe, and with the area set up at Hope Farm, we could start almost a rest station if it was developed enough. People can come, stretch their legs, go on a walk on the trail, let their dogs out, play with the kids in the park. And it really has endless possibilities with what we can develop in, but that's my entire proposal for that whole setup right there. And finally, Easter. So with the lockdown lifting, we are beginning to plan for Easter. I've reached out to the volunteer rec group and they are meeting this week. I would like to keep the traditional Easter Candyland going, but I do have a backup plan just in case they don't want to choose the event. So I'm waiting for Harold and his group this week to basically tell me if they want to go ahead with the traditional event or if they want us to try to do something, and then I'll react from there. So that's my report.
Okay, thank you. So let's go back to item number 1 then. We're in the COVID. Item number 1, COVID-19. Any comments or questions on that? Number 2, outdoor rinks. Any comments and questions? We've gone back to the way, as you can read, he's got all the information. We're back to we've allowed the warm-up areas now, and Chris has been right on top of it. The staff continue to be trained on the contact tracing, trained on the physical distancing, and it's been working really well. Any comments or questions on item number 2? Okay, item number 3, the photo shoot. Comments, questions? I can't see everybody, so speak up. If your hand is up, let me know.
Here, I just stopped the,
Okay, thank you, thank you. Number 4, the sharing of programs, the RED, with the other municipalities on programming and sharing partnerships. Any comments or questions? Number 5, the Canada Healthy Communities Initiative. He's asking for permission to start working on that and submitting requests for grant for money. It's 100% dollars, so we wouldn't have to put any municipal dollars in if we're successful. And you heard his proposal. Any questions on that? Carl? Carl?
Chris, yes, Chris. Well, I don't know how long ago it was with Barney McCaffrey's there walking thing over the swamp there, the bridges and waterway and whatever. Has anyone mentioned that to you?
yeah, several people have, and from what I can gather, that project never made it to fruition, and the material that they have currently is rotted. I don't know in the current climate if you would be able to do that now with the environment stuff. I've looked at the zoning with Tyler. It seems like in the residential side, we should be okay, but we'd have to go project by project. But the trail would be in the bush area, on mostly along Highway 60, because from what I can gather, that seems to be the better land. And where we would be developing was basically as far as I can get to the Queen Street. From photos, I can't really tell, but it looks like it used to be lawn quite a bit far out there from the older photos.
Yeah, go ahead, Carl.
The property runs out right out to the highway there in the V.
Yep.
We used to play football there when we was kids. It used to be a farm, but it's all grown up now. So, but that's, and public school owns right up to the church, or how far do they own up?
I believe their property goes to Highway 60, and then I have to double check, but yeah, they join on the church property on the other side.
So you got land up as far as the church, I imagine, eh?
Yeah, but that's not all one. That's the school board owns their property where the school is, and then I have to check into who owns that. But what we would be doing would be all on our property, all on the KHR property, which is a pretty significantly large property when you look at it on the Renfrew County Geocortex.
Okay, thanks.
Any further questions? Okay, then hands up. Oh, sorry, John.
Chris, how many acres of land there that KHR own there you're working on?
I'd have to double check. I know the driveway is 250 meters from Queen Street to
He doesn't
Highway
have
60.
that at his fingertips. Yeah, okay.
and then it goes in a triangle. It's probably another 150 meters, but it basically is a triangle out to the point of the connection of Queen Street and Highway 60. I can send you a photo from Renfrew County Geocortex if that would help.
Okay,
Carl or
good.
Ted, you don't know how many acres is there, eh? Sue?
Nah, not off the top of my head, no.
Okay, all right. Okay, we'll get that to you, John, okay?
Yes,
Okay,
thanks.
any other questions? Okay, those in favor of telling him to go ahead and apply for the grant, hands up. Everybody, Chris, so that's a go.
Okay.
Number 6 is the reading trail, so they need permission from the municipality to apply for the grant, and they would go ahead with that walking trail in partnership. Chris would be part of that process, but they would apply for that money themselves. So,
No, we would all, sorry, it would all be under one.
okay, sorry, I misunderstood you. Okay,
Yeah, because the more partners basically we show that we have, the more likely we are to have the grant.
absolutely. Okay, so they'd be part of that. Is everybody okay with that? Hands up. Hands up. Good. Everybody, that's good, Chris. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Number 7 is the walking trail. Number 8 is the Easter backup. Like if we're going to try to do the Easter, and if that doesn't work, then Chris has a backup plan and he'll let us know. Hands up. Everybody okay with that? It's a go. Chris, did I miss anything?
No, that was it.
Council, any questions or comments for Chris? Ted?
Yeah, I was just wondering if we ever heard back when that Salvage King episode was going to be on.
April.
So, yeah, I've reached out to them. She said she's going to contact me in the next couple weeks, and that it should be released in the next couple weeks when it's going to be. So it's the minute I have that, I will be announcing it to all of you, and we can maybe do some sort of premiere or a virtual thing, and definitely make the most of this momentous occasion.
Yeah.
That sounds
Okay,
great. Yeah,
thanks.
they told me April. So yeah, that's around the right time. Okay. Any other questions for Chris? Okay, Chris, thank you very much. Good report as always. Lots of good ideas. Council's really happy about your initiative moving forward, keeping the community involved. Well done. So thank you very much. Have a nice evening. Okay.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bob, you're up next.
All right. Can we get a share screen here?
Yeah.
Sue.
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. You see my big fire?
Yeah, there's your big fire.
Yeah, that's what we had after I sent out your note yesterday. We got that later yesterday afternoon. The 2019 Dodge Ram. They probably get the tailgate for a decent price. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Okay, Killu Hardy Richards report. Fire responses. Well, you got my update with the truck on the fire response. The only thing we had since the last report. Activities of note, we had the PAC 6, which is the Provincial Advisory Committee, Zone 6 of the OASC, and we had a Zoom meeting regarding the closing of the Ontario Fire College on February the 3rd. And as I mentioned to you somewhat before, the province was subsidizing a lot of the costs for the Ontario Fire College, to the fact that they charge $65. That's for the course registration, meals, and accommodation for the length of the course, usually 4 to 5 days. That now is being downloaded to the fire departments, to the municipalities, and the actual costs are going to be in the neighborhood now with the regional training centers that they're setting up, to about $1,300. So that's a significant increase for planning purposes and et cetera, et cetera. So there was a big discussion on that, and the OAFC apparently had not been involved with the any consultation with the OFMEM about the closing of the college. So they're putting a paper together now, I guess, and trying to see if there can be some remediation or not. New fire hall, we had a progress meeting on January 27th and February the 10th. The next meeting is coming up on February 24th. Things are going along. It's more slowly than what we'd hoped and whatnot in the first place, but there's been a lot of interruptions with COVID in the manufacturing processes, and availability of materials seems to be slowing things down. As an example, our garage doors originally were going to be 4 weeks, and then it became 16 weeks. So that's the kind of thing that the contractors have been dealing with. Training, because of COVID, up to this point, we had no face-to-face training with firefighters since our last report to council. January 21st, I was on a fire investigations part 2 webinar for an hour and a half. And on the 4th, I was on February the 4th, photography for fire investigations. Another one was about an hour and a quarter to try and complete the fire investigations portfolio. The CEMC initiatives, we had COVID-19 virtual ministry meetings on January 29th and February the 5th. We had EOCG meetings, that's our control group meetings, January 25th and 9th, as well as February 2nd, 5th, 8th, 12th, and 16th. We've been running a couple a week. during the restrictions that we had. That may or may not change coming up, but that's what we looked at for the last bit. Capital sector, now this again is a meeting of the EPMO, if you like that one. It's an evaluating and enhancing prevention and mitigation in Ontario working group that the OFM has put together to try and put a whole bunch of ideas, unique solutions to particular problems, whether it's flooding or whatever, and trying to share that with everybody. Capital sector looks at Renfrew County, Ottawa, et cetera, so we're inputting through that particular avenue. The fire department's purchased two ionizers, one for each fire hall, in order to be able to spray down the trucks, gear, and equipment after each call. Ionizers can trap airborne bacteria and viruses as negative ions bound with them, forcing them to settle on surfaces wherein the disinfectant used will destroy them. Okay, COVID report specifically for Renfrew County. Confirmed cases at 310, resolved cases at 302, with 2 deaths to date. Ontario's had confirmed cases of 285,868, resolved cases of 267,128, deaths at 6,692, hospitalizations at 705, in ICU at 292, in ICU on ventilators 203. Now, about 3 weeks ago, they were hitting the critical point on ICU. They were saying 300, and I think they were at 301. So they dropped that by a third over about the last 3 weeks. Nationally, we got confirmed cases of 827,000, resolution at 770,000, national deaths at 21,308. Internationally, confirmed cases 109 million, resolved cases 81 million, with deaths at 2,413,000. We're creeping on 2.5 million now. Now there's a COVID-19 vaccination tracker that comes out most days. I know there was some restrictions yesterday because it was a holiday in Ontario, but the Ontario count now is 467,626. And what we have down here, because I sent this to all of you, this is the actual count for doses and people vaccinated Canada-wide by province. Getting back to county sets this up. Now you notice the numbers don't quite match because this always seems to be a couple of days behind their actual reporting, but they're only off by one figure here at 309 versus the 310. It shows you where the cumulative number of outbreaks are coming from, where they've been, and number of tests completed for the residents, which is right now is 58,062. Down in this chart, it'll show you where the current rates of infection are, and you'll find out that they're using 1 to 4 type numbers here, but where they're looking at is there's at least one person in BLR, there's at least one in Madawaska Valley, and one in town of Petawawa, because they don't show you the exact numbers of how they add up to 7. And that's my report.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Okay, council, is there any questions on any of Bob's report? Could you go back? Okay. Any comments? Debbie?
Yeah, just a comment. You talked about the ionizers that you're using for the fire, for the vehicles.
Disinfectant.
Yeah. How expensive are they? And is it something that we should use for the roads department?
We've talked about all of that. Yeah, go ahead. Dean
Yeah,
has
as far
stuff.
as, I bought 2, and I bought 2 40-liter jugs of mixed chemical for it, and it was a little over $3,000.
Okay.
Now, whether roads use it, I don't know. I know that Chris has been dealing with that as a project as well.
Okay. Just gives us a good idea when we're talking, you know, since budget is coming up and stuff like that. So just so that people know.
We put those costs, Debbie, under COVID money.
Yeah, and that's great. Yeah.
Okay, so it won't affect our budget. But Dean, how about you?
Yeah, we're doing the same thing, Debbie. We're doing the COVID mix as well, or that spray that Bob is saying. We have it in bottles and they disinfect it every use. So before they get in there, they give it a quick spray. And then at the end of each use, they do the same thing, give it a spray and wipe everything down.
Awesome. Perfect. Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions of our fire chief?
The only other thing, Madam Mayor, is I seen in our package, the draft motion about the fire college is in.
Yes.
So while Bob
You
was
want-
here, I don't know if we want to make
Okay,
that
do you want
motion.
a motion? Do you want to do that, Counselor Kaplinski?
Yep, I will.
Move
Yep,
to support
I
that
will move.
motion?
Yeah, I will move to support that motion regarding the closing of the fire college.
Okay, seconder? Brian? Any further discussion on the motion? Stanley?
No.
No, okay. Anybody else have any comments on that motion in front of you? Okay, all those in favor of supporting the motion? Stanley, you're okay? Okay, it's
Yeah.
carried. Thank you. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else for Bob? Okay, thank you very much, Bob. Good night.
Thank you.
Hi, Dean, how are you?
Not too bad.
Good, good. Dean has been a little busy man. Okay, Dean, could I have your report, please?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so like you said, we're pretty busy most of the weekend with the snow. Sunday we were out. There's probably about 3 to 4 inches of snow, just depends where you were in the municipality. Monday as well, there were 2 inches. And today, well, today was the biggest snowstorm of the year that we've had so far. Depending where you were, again, in the municipality, we've received anywhere from 8 inches to 12 inches plus kind of thing in some of the hills towards Wilno and as well up on Buck Hill. Our loader had a hydraulic hose blow on it, so we had to bring the other one from the landfill there today to make sure the trucks got loaded and everything like that with sand and salt, as well as a water pump that blew in one of the plow trucks as well. So the one we were trying to sell, we had to bring it back out of retirement, so to speak, and we put it back on. Well, it is licensed and insured, and it's still safety till June, so we still could use it. So we brought it back out so we could use that for today's snowstorm. Just a
That makes
reminder,
Dean, that
Yes?
makes a better case for you when we're talking to council at the budget.
exactly.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, that's fine. I just want to remind the residents there that under our bylaw, you cannot park a vehicle on the side of the road to interfere with civic or municipal services such as snow plowing and the removal of ice and snow from our municipal roads from November 1st till April 30th. And that goes as well as for pushing snow across any municipal road or sidewalk. So I did give two warnings out this week. They have been out previous times, the same vehicles. So, I didn't do too much because it wasn't, a whole lot of snow, but I did give 2 warnings on their windshields. So, so just let council know that, we're doing
one
that.
in Killaloe and one on Red Rock. So if you get a call, it's against our
correct.
bylaw. They can't plow if vehicles are in the way. So if you get calls to complain, just say, sorry, we can't do our business with cars in the way. All right, Dean, continue.
So we're almost done our wood there for next year for the outdoor furnace. A couple loads or so that we need left to do. We've been continuing doing brushing when we could. So I'd received a letter from a taxpayer on Deer Trail where we had been brushing some of the road and taking some of the firewood there from it. She wanted actually in her letter, she thanked our staff for doing a wonderful job on the road, and she appreciates all the work that we've been doing. So I just thought I'd put that out to council just to let them know that she appreciates the road for what we're doing
Okay,
on that road.
for public record, we should have her name just because it's important that we recognize people when they take the time to let staff know that they do a good job. So if you could just give us her name, Dean.
It's Yona Payne.
Good. Okay,
Yona
thank you.
Payne on 388 Deer Trail Road.
Good, thank you. Because we need to make sure they're recognized for taking the time to recognize you, the road crew. Okay, anything else? Dean?
The only other thing is our GPS units that were supposed to be installed last year on 2 of our plow trucks. They should be in tomorrow to complete it. So hopefully we'll get those up and running. And they said those units there that they kind of been discontinued and out of date. So that's why they were looking into a different system for us. And they said it should be in tomorrow. So hopefully they'll be in tomorrow. And that's it for my report.
Thank you, Dean. Well done. Any questions or comments for Dean? Carl?
Do we have any tenders back, Dean, on the projects we're talking about?
Not till
Nothing.
March.
Yeah, March 4th, Carl, is the
Okay.
closing. But it's, yeah, I have nothing yet though, Carl.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments for Dean? Okay, we're going to look at the road voucher then. Mr. Brown, if you would like to declare. Okay, go ahead, Ted.
I sent Sue.
Sue? Okay, thank you, Ted. So Sue, do you want to go ahead and read it?
Yes, I, Ted Brown, declare pecuniary financial interest with the road and general voucher number 01-2021.
Okay, duly noted. All right, so we're going to look at the bills, council, then. Have a look. Any comments or questions on the road, on all the vouchers? Brian?
Yeah, there's a couple here. I just want some clarification because I don't
Okay.
understand. 22,493.
493. Okay. Credit card.
That's the monthly credit card. And the reason why it's so high is Dean paid the licenses for the trucks.
Okay.
All on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also 22,485.
Lulu environmental.
That's every year that we put 20% of the tag fees into the environmental account. So that was the amount that we transferred from the general account to the environmental account. It's 20%
Bag tag. Yeah.
bag tag fees.
Okay, okay.
Good question, Brian. Really good question.
Just one other one then would be 22,451.
Bonfin, well, that's our water management, the Boncha River Water Management. That's the consulting stuff she's doing for us on the turtles and the lake
Okay.
trout.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay, yeah, good.
Okay, good,
Thank
good
you.
question. Anybody else have any questions on the road vouchers? Road and general vouchers. Okay, I would entertain a motion to pay them, moved by Debbie, seconded by Carl. Any other questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Ted, you can return. Okay, then we're moving on. Oh, Sue, I missed you. Okay, Dean, thank you very much. Have a nice evening. Keep up the good work, please.
Okay, thanks. Good evening, everyone.
Okay, Sue, you're up.
Okay, so I got in touch with that Laura Julian from Algonquin College regarding the
Oh, yes.
unconscious bias and cultural diversity. Now she is
I haven't told council about this, so, okay, go ahead and then I'll explain it.
okay. Okay, so she said the training deliveries are very flexible.
Yes.
We'll work it rather than a whole day. It could
Yes,
be like a 2-hour session, a 3-hour session, and then
okay,
toward, work it or tailor it to our needs. So that's,
okay, so is it gonna be finished on March the 9th though?
it goes to the end of March.
Oh, good, then we have time. Okay, so council, there is a course that's being offered, the municipalities are taking part in it through Algonquin College on, and I don't have on racism, and it's teaching staff and council, the proper etiquette. And I told Sue that we will make it mandatory. All staff and council must take it as part of a policy of the township. If ever we got into trouble, we can then prove that we have the course that supports, and these are necessary courses. And because it's free, I'm suggesting we take part in it now when it's free, than if we have to pay $250 a person. So she spoke with whoever, Laura, And she's
Mhm.
saying that she can accommodate us. So now I'm suggesting to council that we pick a day, and it's an all-day session, and I'm thinking for those of us that can do an all day, we should do it. And then for those of you that can't, Tyler would be willing to help do one-on-one, but you'd have to come in, or I guess you could do it from home, Tyler said, eh? Can you do
Yes.
this one instead of Tyler's though?
This one,
Tyler said his you could do at home, but I don't know about this one.
yeah, this one is like we were going to set up the screen in the council chambers and everybody.
We're trying to do it all in one shot before it runs out so that we don't have to pay for it. And so, Tyler thought if you want to do a one-on-one later, we could have it in the evening, something like that. I think, did Laura say she could accommodate us? Good. So we could have it maybe a couple of nights in the evening to accommodate those that can't make the one day. But I'm saying we could do a one day for those, the staff and council, whoever can do it. And then for the others, we're going to work around your timetables so that you get a certificate to prove that we've all taken that course. How's
Now
your
she is
feeling?
going, yeah, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
She is going to provide the dates that the courses will be available. So then we can pick and choose a date.
Okay. So council, okay, Debbie?
I guess just a question. I think we'd probably have to have it on more than one day because we'd still have to have social distancing in effect, right? You wouldn't be able to put everybody all in council
Well, we
chambers,
can have, I
council
think,
and staff,
yeah.
right?
How many
to
can we
10.
have?
10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll have to be a couple of dates.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, for those of us that want to do and get it done,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
We could do it in a one day, but for everybody else that can't do that, we can work around all of that, okay?
Sure. Sure.
And at the end, we have to have it done by the end of March. So, if you can lend some evenings to make up the time to do it, that would be great. And then we'll all have certificates so we can prove, including the staff. That's a mandatory program so that we have it as part of our policies that we all went through that. There is going to be a day when that's going to be mandatory and we'll have to pay. That's why I'm trying to take advantage of it when it's free.
Yep.
Any other questions? We'll give you the dates and then you can be in touch with Sue and we can work around your town tables, okay? And whoever can make it, make it. Whoever can't, we'll work around helping you through that, okay? Everybody okay with that direction? Carol?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Does anybody object to what I've done? I've said it should be mandatory.
No,
said
I think it's good.
free. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Anybody object to that? All right. Okay, so Sue's going to keep in touch with you about that program and then we'll make it work for you. So, as long as we get it done at the end of March so that it's free. Okay. And we'll work with the staff, as many as we can get in and we can put it up on the wall and have that. Okay. Sue, then you go ahead.
That's all for me.
Okay. Anything for Sue, council?
Oh,
Go ahead, Carl.
if we're having this, have we got rid of that green screen?
Green screen.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember the last time the cord was broken?
Oh, it was pink.
Oh, sorry.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. We're getting through it. Okay, there's no committee reports.
No.
Okay, let's go to correspondence. I'm going to go fairly quickly. You've all had it. You've all had opportunities to look at it. So if you have points or something, stop me. If not, I'm going to go through it relatively quickly, council, because you've all read them and seen them, okay? The first one is from Aqua, stay-at-home order. Any comments? The next is the Ranford County and District COVID-19 epidemiology report. Then there's a letter from Honorable John Yakubuski, the letter that went to him from Doug and Sheila Fee, the letter.
I'm glad someone appreciates your hard work.
Oh, thank you. The next is from Steve Lucas concerning the water as well. Then there's the Fire College, we had, Debbie made the motion to support that, so we've got that done. The Community Safety Township of Norwood resolution to extend the Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan, extension request. Brian?
I think we should go with them on that.
Okay, do you
Don't
want to,
They want us to support that? Is that?
yes, they're
Is that the
asking us to support, they're asking us if we would support their resolution in front of you. Sue, we have ours done, right?
No, we don't. We're working on it. We have it, the survey's completed. There's a draft plan that's being finalized. We're meeting with the committee next week, I think, to kind of wrap up everything, but
Okay.
we done by the deadline.
You will be done by the 1st of July. Okay,
Yeah.
Brian, do you still want to support that motion? You want to move it then?
No, I'm sorry, that was the wrong one. I thought it was a different
Oh.
one.
Okay, okay, all
Sorry.
right. No problem. The next is from the Ministry of Solicitor General on the off-road vehicles. The next one is from the Ministry, oh, you don't have, oh yeah, Ottawa Valley Business News.
Yeah, one of them's in there, yeah.
Okay. Then the Ministry of Energy, Northern Development on long-term energy planning. Any comments on that? Then we have a letter from Lynn Jones in opposition to the proposed Chalk River radioactive waste dump. Comments on that? Next, we have a letter. Oh, sorry, Brian.
Yeah, that one, she says that a lot of the municipalities have supported that over the years. Are we one of those municipalities
No.
or not? Oh,
No.
okay. I was a little bit concerned because of a lot of our ratepayers have jobs and work there. And so
They honestly, you know,
what the effect of
yeah, we've heard lots of presentations from there, from Chalk River, and I mean, they're very environmentally conscious. They go to the public, and so I feel like they've done their job in trying to protect it. So, but it is council's prerogative if you want to support it or not. But we have never supported anything opposing it.
Yeah, I thought that too, that the Ministry of Environment would have that all checked out, and they must be following guidelines there.
Oh yes, over the top. Yeah, Carl.
I just
Carl?
read in the weekend or this weekend that they had shipped their last load of radioactive material to the States or something, which is connected through the world and shipped this, and the States
From
takes
from
care
Chalk
of it. I
River.
don't know what these.
From Chalk River.
Yes.
Okay.
It was in the weekend paper. It was their last
Okay.
load of contaminant going
Okay.
to the States.
Anything further on that letter? Okay, then we have a letter from the Office of the Warden. The Winter Games, any comments or questions? Then we have a letter from Linda Archibald. The overdose crisis, Brian,
Yeah, that's the one I would like to support.
support. Okay, so you're moving that to support that resolution in front of us?
Yes.
Okay, so it's moved by Brian, seconded by Debbie. Any comments or questions? All those in favor? It's carried. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Official plan. So this came back from the county. Yep.
Did,
Yep.
I was reading this today. Where am I? KHR there near the back, I think.
Yeah.
Did they do anything with their recommendations or?
No, they said
No.
no to all of our recommendations.
Huh.
I will be asking for a recorded vote so that taxpayers can see who votes for this plan. And because they have not responded to our concerns, so. Okay,
So we're still in.
John?
I read through the whole thing, but I can pretty well pick out of it. Anybody who wants to do any development or survey out some lots, it could cost you an awful pile of money just on trying to get it put through.
We are already seeing a couple of severances came in, and the list is long that they have to satisfy the county in order for them to move forward. So we're already seeing it, but anyways, we are going to be voting on it at the end of January. And as I said, I will be asking the warden for a recorded vote.
January, Janice? You said the end of January.
Sorry, end of February.
Okay. I was going to say, did we miss it?
I'm living in a month back. So yes, at the end of February, and then we'll see what happens. And that's all I can do. I can object. I've stated my case. We've written it. We've gone through it. And so as you can see, they made a few other municipalities made comments, and they've kind of tried to move a little bit for them. But all our issues were, they said no. So anyways, that's the way it is. And we'll move on the end of February, and then taxpayers can see who votes for what. Okay? John?
Yes. I think it'd be okay if I got a copy of this to give to our president of the Renfrew County Private Landowner so he can see what's going on.
Absolutely. It's a public document.
Yes. Okay, could I get a copy from you, Sue, an extra one?
Mm-hmm. You mean the comments, John?
The comments that that the county
official
sent
plan.
back.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Then we're going to go back to the Ottawa Valley businesses. We looked at all of those. And then Neil Bell Canada, the support for high speed. Now, I got that one.
Were they asking for like a letter or something of support?
Yeah, they want a letter of support from us that demonstrate access to high-speed internet is a stated priority for our community.
Yeah, and I think they have a sample there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we've opposed the 5G, but it doesn't talk about 5G on here.
Correct.
They're just saying that everybody should have the same kind of service. Like there's areas in KHR you can't get good internet. But it doesn't say anything about 5G. I know council, we have put a hold on that until more research was done, but that's up to council whether you want to support this. Brian?
I'd like to move that we do support it
Okay.
with that
Seconded.
letter.
Okay, this letter, okay, seconded by Debbie. Any further discussion? Sorry. Further discussion? All those in favor? It's carried. Okay. And the last one is I got a call from Allison about the Round Lake Post Office. And I asked her to put it down in writing and send it to council. They're considering closing it down, but they wanted to know if anybody heard any negativity in Round Lake about the service that's being provided. And of course, I don't live there, but I have not heard any negative. Nobody's called me, but I wanted to know if council had heard any negativity about the box and what they've been doing there. So has anybody heard anything negative? No. Okay, so am I able then to write a 10-2021? Moved by Ted, seconded by Carl. Discussion? All those in favor? All those in favor? Carl, okay, carried. Thank you. First reading, Sue. Short,
bylaw 2021.
discussion. Second reading, Councillor Short.
Please.
Okay, go ahead, Sue.
Bylaw 2021.
Anything? Okay, I'd entertain a motion for third reading, moved by Debbie, seconded by Ted. All those in favor? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Short, Council Short.
Please.
Okay,
Bylaw 2021.
thank you. Okay, unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business? Okay, any new business? Ted?
Yeah, I had the call today, and I never heard anything on it. I'm just wondering if anybody else has about the federal government's go and make the municipalities
Yes,
decide about handguns.
yes, that's true. It is true. The federal government is going to download the responsibility to local municipalities on whether or not what we're going to allow and what we're not going to. He's got a program in place that people can hand in their guns and all that stuff. Yes, that was announced on CBC News today.
Okay.
Aren't we lucky we're getting into guns now?
Yeah.
If nobody wants to do it, they download it to us and let us do it. Anyways, yes, that's exactly what's happening. I'm anticipating we'll see some motions starting to come out objecting to it. So we'll wait for the detail, and then maybe we could, support other municipalities, the county, and we'll see how it goes. If we don't hear anything in a month, Ted, maybe then we could draft something up to object once we know more details about it. How's that? Okay, good. Any other, Carl?
They're going to make us responsible for long guns and handguns and everything else.
Yes. Yeah.
I guess we'll be like Texas. Everybody carry a handgun on their belt. It's stupid.
Yeah, but with that, if council said yes, then we have the responsibility on the liability end of it.
I know.
So that's what's happening. They want to say, oh, it's not us saying no or yes, it's the township. And then the township, we're scared because we don't want the liability. So that's the way it works, ladies and gentlemen.
So stupid. So if someone gets caught with a handgun downtown Kittilute, council's going to end up being responsible for not dealing with this situation.
Well, we'll have to probably have a bylaw enforcement officer that would have to be going out there checking those things. I'm sure that would be downloaded with it. Did you hear the last one? The federal government is going to do a home equity tax. Did you hear about that?
No.
That's the one that's killing me. So everybody that owns a home, they're going to tax you on what it's worth to rent it out. So you're never going to rent it out. But if your house, in their opinion, they think that, Debbie, you could get $2,000 a month for your house. That's $24,000 of income that you're passing by. So then you're going to pay tax on that.
Sure.
Welcome. That's coming. That's what's on the books.
Makes lots of sense.
So let's say you have 600 acres of property, and they feel that for 600 acres of property, you could get $5,000 a month in rent to rent it. So then that's $60,000 extra income on your income tax, and you're going to have to pay income tax. It's a home equity tax.
Welcome to communist
Paying
Russia.
for COVID. Yeah, paying for COVID.
Yeah, and now we're sending all that money to other countries, and anyways, don't get me started. I am going to be attending the FCM virtually, and that's going to be some of the things that we're going to be yelling about. But I hope it doesn't get passed through. FCM isn't until May or June, so. But it is. They are talking about it, and it is on the books. So, ladies and gentlemen, they're looking for ways to try to tax us more. Okay, any other new business? Okay, do we have anything in camera? Okay, the next meeting, I will probably call for one in March. I will continue to keep you all informed as we move along, if everybody's okay with that. And it'll be an evening meeting, and maybe by then we'll have some security that we could drive in for that meeting. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep you informed because it is day by day. If we go out of a green zone back to orange or whatever, we would then not be able to do that. But anyways, if council's okay with that, I'll call the meeting. I'll give you lots of notice for the latter part of March. Okay? Is there any questions on any of that? I'll continue to give you reports from all our meetings, telling you what's going on. Call me if there's any problems with any of it, please. Okay. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn if there's nothing else. Okay, moved by
Confirm.
Debbie, seconded by Ted.
Confirming
Oh,
bylaw.
confirming. Sue, where were you?
I'm right here. I'm right here.
A mover and a seconder for confirming bylaw. Moved by John, seconded by Stanley for confirming bylaw. Sue, read the motion.
Motion for first and second reading of bylaw 11/20/21.
21. Okay. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. First reading short.
Please.
Bylaw 11/20/21.
Okay. Any discussion? Second reading short.
Please.
Bylaw 11/20/21.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion for bylaw for third reading, moved by Brian, seconded by Carl. All those in favor? Carried. Third reading short.
Please.
Okay,
Bylaw 11/20/21.
second reading short.
Please.
Bylaw 11/20/21.
Did I do all that?
Yep.
Did we do
Yeah.
third reading?
No, we're waiting for the adjournment now.
Okay.
Are you on your meds? Girl, Ted has a question.
Oh, Ted, you have a question? Ted was gonna ask if I was off my meds. Okay, then, if everybody's okay, I'd entertain a motion for adjournment. I want to thank the public for joining us this evening, and if the press is there, thank you very much. And council, thank you very much. It was a good meeting, and I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Debbie, seconded by Ted. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you, guys. We'll talk soon.
Good night, everybody.
You had too much snow today. It's okay.